All right. Top of the rock. Good morning. This is Mastermind Wisdom. Mastermind Wisdom for winners. Mastermind Wisdom for winners is where knowledge isn't just shared, it's activated. Each episode brings insight that challenges how you think, pushes how you grow, and sharpens how you move through life. So if you're ready to level up strategically, personally, let's get started with Mastermind Wisdom for winners this morning. We have our guest. Thank you. We have a guest with us this morning. Very excited. This is going to be an exciting show. Miss Imani Davenport, which is a Believer. And with that, she is an international vocalist, a poet, and a model. And she's a Christian that finding the way from John 14:16. Miss Imani, welcome to Mastermind Wisdom.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. So we want to start out with the information of just who you are, and when we talk, we're going to have 3 episodes of an interview today. And in those interviews, we're going to just do a little bit of a background, where you come from, and who you are, and what your future looks like. So this is going to be an exciting show, and we want to thank you once again for coming. Mastermind Wisdom. So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and a little bit about you, Miss Imani, so that my audience will know who you are today.
Yeah, so hi guys. My name is Imani Davenport. I am born and raised in Houston, Texas, by way of Dallas, Texas, both sides of my family. But I was raised in church, loving the Lord, growing, just developing, and God has brought me through so many things
Awesome.
that I just want to be able to share with you guys. So I hope that you get to learn a little bit about my heart in this interview.
Yeah, excellent. That's our purpose. And once we do that, and again, we want to thank you because of the fact that who you bring and who you are and whose you are has made a difference in your life. And with that in mind, we always talk a little bit about the beginning.
Yeah.
And again, as you said, were you born in Houston? Or?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Houston is home, but by way of Dallas, meaning your parents.
Mm-hmm. Both sides. They're from Dallas.
They're Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
How often do you go back to Dallas? Is there family members in Dallas?
Couple times a year. It's
Yeah,
a lot of family.
A lot of family in Dallas.
We're used to that little 3.5, 4-hour trip. So yeah.
Excellent. Well, ironically, I know we've been knowing each other for a while, but I'm originally from Dallas.
Oh, are you?
Yes, ma'am. I'm
Wow.
from North Dallas, and me and your dad have talked on many occasions.
Wow.
So Dallas is my home, and
Okay.
boy, I go there. In fact, I was there on Mother's Day.
Wow,
So I go quite
Okay.
often. So
we were just there the 29th. I'm not sure if that's Mother's Day or the right after, but
right.
yeah.
So
that's
you
funny.
know that trip like I know it. Boy, do we make it all the
Oh,
time.
man.
Like I said, small world. You just never know who you know. So in growing up in Houston, I always like to start from the beginning. What elementary school did you attend?
Ooh-wee.
Do you remember?
I bounced around from school to school.
Okay.
I was a little bit of a troubled kid, I would say.
Okay.
And so my dad worked at all of the elementary schools I went to except the very first one. And whenever he moved, I moved. So
That so you keep an eye on you? That's great.
Yeah.
Well, what wonderful father he is.
Yes,
The fact
he
that-
is.
Okay.
So I went to like 4 or 5
Okay.
elementary schools.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any particular one school that stood out in your mind in elementary that has affected or influenced your life that you can think of?
Honestly, I would say all of them.
All of
I
them.
mean,
Every one of them was an experience.
yeah, for sure.
Excellent.
Took a little bit of something with me each time. So Cedarbrook Elementary was, I want to say, the first school that I went to. I endured a little bit of hardship because of the color of my skin. And as a small child, it was kindergarten. I didn't quite understand what was happening. And so I began to lash out. And I made some poor decisions. And so they were like, you're going to have to go.
Absolutely.
Luckily, my dad worked at another elementary school within the district, so they were like, all right, like you can go to that one because your papa there. You can go, you know.
Right.
But if you do anything else, like you're gonna have to skedaddle.
Right.
So first grade and like half of second grade, I went to Spring Branch Elementary.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And
very good school district.
yes,
Yeah, well,
yes. Cedarbrook is actually in Spring Branch.
Is it
so
really?
we were commuting like 45, 50 minutes every day
in traffic
to get to school. Yeah.
What an experience.
Listen.
Oh my God. I know.
I remember we had this green van, and a couple of times all my other siblings, they'd get dropped off and then it would break down. And so I'm sitting with my dad and I'm like,
what are we going to do now?
like, hello? So I spent a lot of time at the mechanic with my dad.
I see.
But
Yeah.
so he left halfway through my second grade year and went to Young Scholars Academy.
Okay.
And so I went there, which was downtown. And then
A little closer?
A little closer to home.
Okay,
a
good.
little bit closer
Makes
to home.
a difference.
Yeah,
Even
for
that-
sure.
even-
Waking up at 5:30 versus 5:45, 6 o'clock, you know.
I know how that works. I got you.
Yeah, and so from there, I was surrounded by people that looked like me, but because of my prior experience, I was not accepted.
Immediately.
Immediately,
Right,
you know?
right.
And so they weren't used to like the way that I spoke or the mannerisms I had. And so it was just like kind of a culture shock almost.
Okay.
And at the end of third grade, we transitioned to another school called the Road School, which is a charter school out on the north side of Houston. And I was there for fourth grade. And then we left there. And fifth grade, I was finally stable in middle school. So it was fifth through eighth grade.
Settled into a system of
Right.
normalcy.
Yes.
Wow.
Being able to like finally, you know, because everybody is like developing friendships.
Right.
They live near their school. They're like, oh, let's go to the park after school. And I'm like, I cannot. My parents are coming to pick me up and drive me 50 minutes away.
Right.
So just being able to like consistently see the same people from fifth to eighth grade, even in the building, made a difference.
Big difference.
Absolutely. So everybody already had their friends, you know, from elementary. And so it was kind of a learning curve again, especially because I was in the minority. I was surrounded by like Hispanics and, you know, a couple of white people, a couple of Asians, you know, but like it was predominantly Hispanic. Shout out to my Hispanic family.
And supporters and everything.
Te amo. They taught me Spanish. They brought me food. I'm like, I love the culture.
You became the community. You adapted and assimilated, as we say, into that culture.
Absolutely.
But there's so much richness and history and a lot to learn.
Absolutely.
In that culture. Which
in their
is different.
strength and their perseverance. I just love to be able to watch them like just exist and be and work and like love on their family. I love how close knit their communities are.
Beautiful.
So it's
I love it. I love it. Well, it gives you a multi vision of how things work. And I want to share from my experience, a little bit of experience. Most creative people in this world have had some unusual background and foundation, which helps shape who they are today.
Right, absolutely.
And that's what's a beautiful thing about it. If there's one person, whether it's the elementary school or even in the Hispanic community, that made what I would consider I won't say the biggest influence, but the most impactful influence on you, is there any one person that stands out that kind of helped shape you through school or through the association in the Hispanic that stands out? A name or a person that you want to give a shout out to that kind of helped shape you when Dad wasn't around? Because obviously when the parents are around, they are our biggest influence.
Yeah.
But we always asked about, well, you know, what happens with an individual.
Right.
You know, I've used my best example coming into elementary. I didn't, like you, I had a very similar background, and you know, all predominantly Caucasian school.
Yeah.
Then I went to all black school, and and I was kind of a little bit light-skinned, and they was like, well, who are you? And they would touch my hair, and I was like, wait a minute, this is reverse. I said, what's going on here, And then I assimilated and got into it, but the point of it was, there was one teacher, Mrs. Stevenson. I was in the art class. I'm just sharing so that you could share it back with it. And I was doing art, and I made a little duck out of clay. She fell in love with that duck, and she started showing that duck all around the school and put it in a case. And I said, so that's what makes people happy.
Yeah.
So that Miss Stevenson impacted my life to help me, direct me into my direction of what I love and what God showed me my gift. Who basically showed you your gift at that age, or were you aware of your gift at that age?
So, growing up in church, I was aware that singing was a gift that I had. But I think the most influential person that immediately comes to mind from the point of time we've already discussed, elementary all the way to middle school, I had a teacher named Mr. Hambley.
Okay, shout out to Mr. Hambley.
Shout out to Mr. Hambley.
Give her kudos.
Yeah.
Making a difference. Teachers makes a difference.
Yes, he does. They do.
Yes.
And he was a math teacher. I had him for 5th grade, and he was always so encouraging. He was just a light, a genuine light. And he actually wasn't Hispanic. He was Caucasian.
Okay.
And so
look at that.
Yeah. So that enmity that seems to be between our cultures, it just didn't register.
Okay.
It's why? This person is nice.
Right.
This being is shining the light of God through him. And so I really loved him. He was always so positive and, upbeat and
Good.
so
Good.
yeah.
Excellent. Well, that's very interesting and insightful to go back and remember that, because a lot of times when we start thinking about our biography, our book, these are the times when we record things that, when I start to write the book, or when you start writing your memoirs, you have this to remember. Yeah, that's that one person. I hadn't thought about him in a little while, but he comes to mind. So thank you for sharing that experience with us. At what point in time, if in that particular range of age, were you discovering your gift? And what did you discover? You mentioned church. Mm-hmm. Where did you discover your gift?
Yeah, so my entire mom's side, they're vocalists, they're singers. And so
you have a talented family that
already
instilled. Right. Okay.
And so my mom would tell me the story. I was 2 years old, sitting on my little training pot in the living room, and a commercial comes on, and it's like a cat commercial of some sort, and they have a little gospel, they'll have the gospel choir with the robes and stuff. And she said she came out, and I was singing the parts. I was singing along with the choir. And so from then on, she was like, oh, you want to do this,
Right.
Yeah. So I was raised singing in church and youth choir and all of the choirs that they could put me in. I was in them.
You were in them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I joined school choir in 7th grade, I want to say, in middle school, and finished out all the way through high school in choir, and have been performing since I was, I'll say 9 years old. My dad, he plays the sax, right. And so whenever he'd have gigs, he'd sometimes drag me along with him.
All right. It wasn't dragging. She actually went because enthused by your father.
I was so excited. I was so excited.
I love it. Yes, ma'am. I got you.
I remember one, I think it was in Austin. He's playing for this older gentleman's retirement party or birthday party or something.
Right.
His name's Bob.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, oh, my daughter sings. You're going to sing him happy birthday. And I'm like,
I am. Thank you, Dad.
So,
I love it.
My life has been full of those moments.
I got it.
Oh, my daughter sings. Sing something. And it's like, we didn't discuss this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's well, the thing that you are able to take it at the moment and improvise with it, again, is a testament to your talent and your abilities to make that adjustment. And of course, with parents, we want to please them, and I understand that. So we just talked about the childhood, your development, and some of the stories. We love stories, and the story you've shared already has been tremendously interesting. And this will help us in transitioning to our episodes. This is our episode 1, and because of that information, we're going to be talking about episode 2, where we're going to actually go from that middle school to the high school and then to your profession or what you have that gift for. And we really appreciate knowing that little background, because I'm envisioning 2 years old on the potty singing to the TV, and everybody saying, "Hey, that's an image. That's an image." But again, we want to thank you for being part of our program today, and at episode 1, which we'll be closing now, and thanking you for coming in again, Miss Imani Davenport. Let's give her a hand, everybody. Yes, sir.